Dieri!
Dieri, come back.
He went right down then, Maradubuduba, and what we call Maradubuduba. Put your hand in the water and dip them. There's not a big lake. Yeah.
So you reckon at Congy Lake, Congy Lake, that was, what name, where that story come through there, then you followed that Maradubuduba.
Yeah, right down there then. But that Congy Lake is not Congy Lake.
What is
This,
Well, from what I hear, that's a
big
dairy name.
old snake. Yeah.
Isn't that a dairy name for devil? Or is that wrong, Auntie Sylvia?
No, he said it.
Well, just like Minko water, they call him Minko, eh? All them Yarawanta and all that. We don't call him Minko. We call him Minka. The big hole. And
It's like a Murray, you know.
there's another water hole there, that Kalamara. Hey,
See, the thing is, yeah, all the dairy people that come from the Cooper down to Birdsville Track, we're the descendants of all those people. Now, gentleman sitting on my left, the lady sitting on my right, we're all dairy descendants. Now, there's no need for us to try and exaggerate or anything like that there, but we are descendants from very nice people that come from that country there, and we feel very strongly about that country and that land. That's what I'm talking up to my dairy people. We're all people from the Cooper, on the Birdsville Track, up towards Eneminka, place called Calaupanan. That's where my grandmother come from that country there. I don't know much about that because I didn't grow up in those years, but I'm only talking on what I've been told, you know.
well, that's like Kalyamara, eh? They call him Kalyamara. And what dairy people call him? Kalya. That means coal. In the mara. Kalyamara.
Kalyamara.
Put the coal in the hand. That's what it
Where
is.
they get cold air, though.
Hey, light a fire and put the coal in the hand. That's Kalyamara.
Okay.
Will you?
Sylvie can go back further than I can. Because we had an old camel cart, all buggies, eh? We had buggies, that's all we had. And we had no milk. We used to
Have
No.
dairy goats.
yeah, goats, that's all we had. And that's all we used to walk along with the goats while mum and dad was sitting on the old buggy. We had nothing.
You know, the other thing is that, you know, our people, like many other indigenous people of this country, we are descendants of a lot of old gentlemen that put their lives on the line to fight for this country and to go overseas. No one recognises it. There's not many people that recognise that. We are descendants of a lot of those old people that stood up and fought for this country here, for all us black people and white people.
Johnny went
Yeah.
to war,
There's not many people that talk about that.
No,
But we know a lot of those gentlemen that have been over there and come back. That's the reason why we are here today, because we grew up from those people. They come back and grew us up.
my dad, he was a light horseman.
Right.
And I can take you to Broken Hill and show you his grave.
How many sisters and brothers you got, Auntie Sylvie?
Hmm?
How many sisters and brothers you got?
Talk to me.
Sisters and brothers.
Remember
I
that,
only
Betty?
got one brother now. I got 5 brothers.
Little old wine drinking me.
4 now. 4 passed on.
I'd
And how
like
many
to see your
sisters? I've
mum
got
come in.
3 sisters.
Mum,
one,
She lives in
two
Adelaide,
passed
huh?
on.
Well, who's the ones that are living?
Hmm?
Who's still alive? Which sisters?
Auntie Ray and Lil and your grandmother Ruby.
You all grew up all together? Or you just got separated?
No, we never grew up together.
My grandmother, she came from Calapan Mission. She came from the Birdsville tract. And all us young people, we respect that and we love all that, all the memories that come from that old people. You remember the time when we went to Innemig at the time? And that old gentleman called Jack Gutty,
Yeah.
he took us up near the homestead there, Innemig homestead.
Mm.
And he pointed down near the bank of the creek there, and he said, "That's where your grandmother and your grandfather lived down there, Jack Landers and Hilda Lander."
Mm.
And I always keep that in my mind. His name was Jack Gutty.
Well, Sylvia was born there, in Emeka. Huh?
Oh, you were born there, sir.
Yeah, she was born there.
You want to tell us what you done around there?
Well, we wasn't kids there then. We shifted from there.
Oh, soon you was born. What, you went to
To-
Timber or something?
Arbury, you know? Oh,
We went to Tibberburn.
no, Arbury.
Arbury.
It was Tibberburn.
No, we didn't come down there till late.
But all
They
our,
went to Arbury,
I was wondering how this might
Arbury.
but all our people, they come from the Cooper, down the Birdsville tract. What's them family names? There's Kennedy. Kennedy's and who else? I remember talking to that old fella up at Innemika there, his name was Jack Gutty.
Yeah, I remember old Jack.
Well, he used to talk about my grandmother and my grandfather, which is your mother and father. And he showed me a spot there where they used to do all the ceremony dances right across that, from that Kalimara waterhole. Who was running the place there?
I know who's run the place then, because I wasn't even born. Lily was born there.
Yeah, and his mother there, old Nell, huh?
Yeah, Nell, Johnny, and Lily,
Where was that, on Cadilla?
He's got to think.
No.
Mubby.
Mumpy.
Oh,
They was
Mubby.
all born there.
Oh, they was all born there.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. What do you think about, all these people, they all jumping in and getting all these land claims and all that sort of thing there, from Flinders Range,
Yeah.
up along the Cooper there.
Mm.
What,
I
all
should've
us
brought
people,
my
we
maps
from
with
that
me.
Cooper, eh? What do you think about that?
Now, well, at the next meeting, we got to talk about that. You got a letter in there
That about what?
about
but
the Quiani people trying to jump into our land. You got a letter there.
We Dieri people, we come from the Cooper. And no one can take that away from us.
In the old days, you wasn't allowed over a boundary unless you send up a smoke signal and tell them where you're going to go. If you go there without the smoke signal, speed straight away. I know that for sure.
First went in to make a place called Kalimara Waterhole, and that old man called Jack Gutty,
Yeah, I know old Jack.
he walked up me straight away, and everyone else was talking about, all the people from Tipperary and Dieri Elders and all that, they was talking about, We know who that fella's talking about and all that. And the bloke called Teddy Brown come up to me and said, "Oh, you wouldn't be related to Landers, would you?" And I said, "Yeah, that's my grandfather." And there's this man called Jack Gutty. He said, "Well, your grandfather, Jack Landers, lived over there near the bank of that Cullimara Waterhole. And his wife was there too, and her name was Hilda."
He talked like a old fella, ain't he?
And I said, "Yeah, well, that's my grandparent." He said, "What's your name then?" And I said, "My name is Christopher, and my mother's name is Nellie." "Oh, Nellie. I remember that Nellie. She's a young lady. She used to work around. I know all the Landers people. A lot of people try to count us out from that on the Cooper there, but we come from that Cooper.
When they,
And there are a lot of things that, you see that that big lake out of Inaminka there, Kungi Lake. I know there's people from on the eastern side of the border fence that say that belongs to them. Kungi Lakes, Kungi is a word from the Dieri people, our people. That means that's devil snake. Our people named that lake
Kanyamara,
and Cullimara Water,
not
far from there.
no, what we
A lot of
call
people
them
try to
is,
claim that big lake there, and they can claim it.
that's not Kongi Lake.
Kongi means devil in Dieri language.
Nah, that's a different way. Yeah, well, this is what I am saying to my anthropologists and that. We'll have to get vehicles and go up there, take the young ones and have a look around where we come from. Because they don't know. No young people know about the Aboriginal, well, where we come from, mate. Sylvie.
Auntie Sylvia, where was you born?
In the meantime,
Inaminka.
yep.
And Willie and Ian, they was born at Arbury, eh?
Who was Willie and Ian?
Two brothers. My two brothers.
Your two brothers, eh?
What, they was good in laws?
I've got a big photo I'll show you.
Sitting near the fireside, I wrote this little song. It's about my childhood memories and the place where I belong. I see the house we lived in, not far from that old store, where you got a friendly welcome when you came to our front door. I see that water coming down along that Black Hill Creek. I've seen her overflowing and run a banker for a week.
Start off with your name. Say hello.
My name's Alice.
And then just say your name's Alice, and I live in Whyalla.
Live in Whyalla.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, she's a star, this one. We're at the station there doing thing like this.
Talk about when you two
Grew
you
up.
grew up together.
We was in the same station.
Whereabouts? Which station?
Mumpio station. 2 daughters and 1 son.
You want to say their names?
Stacks of grandkids.
Your sister talking about yesterday. She liked, what was it, horse riding or something?
Oh, I'd done a lot of that when I was a kid. Mustard sheep and all that sort of
No, Sylvia
at the
was,
station.
did you have electricity and everything?
No electricity, no.
Did you go to school?
No.
Right.
Not like when we grew up, rough. Had to do work when you only had 6 or 7. Looking after sheep and all that.
So you were looking after sheep and that?
Oh, yeah. Band riders, hut and all that.
Because you see us kids now, all we do is play PlayStation and listen to music, eh? It's different back in your days. What's a lot different now to when you were young? Was it a lot easier or harder?
Better, I reckon, than now, eh? Better days.
What was better?
Out in the bush, not in the town.
You were a lot free then, hey? Hey, Auntie Ree, you felt like the same?
Yeah.
That's right.
And what, both of you grew up in the bush, and what kind of things did you get up
We used to
to?
live out in the
A
bush.
lot of things. Was eater, lizard, kangaroos.
Yeah. Did you go visiting, were you with family a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you had your own kids, eh? You used to sit out bush playing music or go swimming?
Never had music. Only them old gramophone, isn't
And the old wound-up old gramophone.
What Grandpa used to sing, and did you sit around the fire and things like that?
I used to work hard. Old people. We had to all work hard. And I was sitting around playing music and drinking and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
Yeah, we used to play together, eh? When we sat mumpy.
At Mumpy, how old do you reckon you were? Were you like primary school?
No, how old we
Really
was.
young. Pardon?
I don't know how old we was there.
What was it just used to on the station, or
No, I had family.
well, who was there then?
Mother and father. They was working at the station.
What do you mean working? Were they like?
Her mother was cooking at the station.
Station, yeah.
And what
And
did
my
your
father
do?
was working in wool shedding,
Doing the sheep and that.
wool pressing.
What sort of games did you play as kids?
Go up the hill with the box and roll down.
Did you used to go playing in? Was there a creek or anything? What's that
Yeah.
station look like?
Big creek there,
Nice
eh?
station.
Did you have to cart water all the time?
No, there's a big bore in there, hot water. Nothing in there.
It'd be nice and sunny, sitting in the sun every day. And did you
Go
have
down
to do a lot-
fishing down the creek, in the water up.
what kind of fish?
Sardines.
Then you used to cook them up and eat them for tea. What else did you do for feed out that way out?
Chase rabbits and that.
That would have been hard. They're fast, eh? So you would have been little girls running around flat out chasing rabbits.
With boomerang.
Boomerang! What, at night, your poppers and that will be singing out bush, singing, what, traditional songs, or are they English?
Not really.
What kind of songs?
No, they never used to sing any songs.
Mum used to turn the light off out in the huts. She reckoned the bomb might be coming before us out.
Because you hear a big bang, and
No, you can hear the big warplane going over.
did you hear that too?
That's what we used to hear there, eh? Out in the bush.
I don't know, that's a bomb down.
Long time ago.
Where were you living then?
At the station.
Do you remember, Rennie, when you lived in the station when you first...
Murray, didn't you?
Yeah, we come there to Murray.
From Murray, did you go to Port Augusta?
We lived there for a while.
It's pretty at Murray.
Mission.
You lived on a mission together?
No.
Oh,
We split up all the time. I was working at another station. Mandana for a while. I used them.
yeah.
What were you doing working at the station then?
Mustard cattle.
Still chasing them rabbits?
Yeah, I had to stop chasing them.
Did you have a lot of roo? Emu?
Plenty, nothing there now in that country.
Oh, go on.
You got a lot of grannies too, eh? And Irene,
Yeah.
She's got a lot of what.
Not a granny, but and great.
Honey Alison, you got any great grannies yet?
There's two there, and that little girl up there. Jenny's youngest son. Oh, yeah. Oh. Sorry.
Number 6. So, next one.
These are
I
gonna
forgot about them.
Yeah?
My son got 5.
Oh, Uncle. Oh, Froggy gonna.
Yeah.
True. And where's he now?
She always had hers. He's in Adelaide.
And if you had a chance to go back to bush
We
and
went
leave
back
all
there.
this here, would you?
We went back there, eh?
I've been back there.
And
Looks different now, that country. No water.
So you couldn't really live off the land anymore because there's nothing.
No, all the others.
it's changed
Eating
a lot.
land.
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
Before, when you were little, there was plenty of food and plenty of water.
Plenty of feed and all that stuff.
And now it's like you have to rely on getting a house and paying bills,
That's it.
making sure like you get pension and stuff, you know.
Yeah. Never used to worry about that and all that.
What was the best thing about like growing up?
It's good.
What was good about it? Growing up.
Oh, it's moving around. You don't stop in one place. Always on horseback or buggy and all that.
What's a buggy?
You put 2 horses in it and then pull it along. Oh, it's good to go back and see that country, eh? Camp around.
Can you talk any Dieri?
Dieri Mitta.
Yeah. Dieri language or Dieri Mitta?
Dieri Yotamai.
What is that?
What's that?
Talk Dieri, wanted to talk Dieri. Saka.
Well, how do you say we're just a couple of old girls?
Willipurna.
What is that?
Willipurna.
And what that mean?
Old girl.
Old girls. Oh.
Pilar.
Old man.
How do you say old men?
Pilar. What else? Chukuru. Chukuru.
Chukru. What's that mean?
Kintala.
What's that?
Dog.
You want to pass on culture and language, don't you? Make sure that they know.
Probably don't want to know that now,
They
do
don't
they?
know anything.
You can't tell them nothing now.
You can't tell them. You can't explain it to them.
But they don't want to listen.
They won't understand it. They won't listen.
No. Different now.
It's different now.
Have you? And you tried teaching them language and culture, and they don't want to know.
They don't want to know all that whole stories.
And so you just keep them to yourself.
See, they just can't laugh at me.
They got no ears.
Fun.
What do you call ears?
What do you call ears?
Talpa. Talpa pan. Milky. Ngalki. Ngalki. Marna.
Oh, food.
Mula.
What's that?
Mula.
What about you?
Tarli.
That's your tongue.
Tarli.
See, you know.
Mara. Tina.
It's hair.
Right.
Foot. Foot.
Then a foot, my hand.
Mga tandragas tihin.
That's
Mantra.
it's your stomach.
Come on, Rennie, you rattle a couple, man.
Go on. Your turn.
Milky.
Milky.
That's milky.
Oh.
You weren't allowed to go in certain shops if your skin colour was black or anything.
I've never seen a shop, never seen lolly, you know. Chips. It's just get us on the stage and they had them poop on things them days.
And he owned a station. Was there a lot of black fellas there?
And yes, family. Oh, there was some help.
What is that?
But then coming to Wyala, it's a lot different now.
Terrible.
Did you say terrible? If you could say what you feel today, do you feel happy with life and how things are going?
Yep. As long as I keep going at the bush. So.
Did you ever meet, like, Amanya?
Yeah, that's it.
What does she look like?
This was your grandmother.
Because we never met Amanya. What was she like?
I had stories about her when she used to try to teach language and no one would listen and she'd pull out that stick. She used to do that? Yeah, but was you there when?
Yeah, not really grandkids much.
There she used to wear a scarf over her head, hey? And how was she? Was she a nice old woman? Did she go out in the community a lot?
They used to stay at the Vanderhouse. Because the man was working the sheep and all that. But they used to come in the station. We used to all meet in the station.
You remember Jack Landers and Hilda? What were they doing? Where did they
I've
work?
only seen them when we went to Elgin.
What about your parents? Because you're related, because that's Uncle Jack Landers. But what about your parents and that growing up? Were they around much?
Mine.
Yeah, that was her grandmother.
Yeah.
And
Great grandma.
Old Walter was your grandfather.
Yeah.
And now you live by
That was
yourself?
my dad's mother. Father's mother.
You wish he could take some fellas out?
Yeah. But you gotta have money to do everything now. Yeah, you gotta jump on a horse and ride out there and do things.
Yeah. It's because your mum used to talk to you a lot in your language. Where were you born and where did you grow up?
I was born in Tibooburra and then I was raised in Silverton, where I grew up there. Went to school there, lived most of my life there. Then I left, sort of went working, and then I worked for Dr. Ilya. They were both doctors, him and her. And then after that I sort of got married and had all my children, 7 children. And we sort of went out in the station, Malliangry Station, where we were out there for a good while and most of the kids grew up a bit. Then when I lost my mother, I travelled back to up to my other brother, Will, where my husband got a job up there working on the roads, and then he went out to Retreat Station. And I was giving the kids the school one, age one's correspondence before we shifted back to Broken Hill. Then when I lost my husband, I sort of took on doing foster care. Yeah, which was really good, was something for me to do. And then I took sick, so I had to give that up. Then when I got better, I went back to TAFE then, and that's where I got my certificates for teaching Aboriginal art.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing now. We opened a culture centre up in Broken Hill. We only just not long started, and this is where I'm going to really teach the Dieri art and what they represent, the markings and that of the artwork, and what the background represents, like it representing the land and different colours of the earth, which you notice. So it's all based on my teaching and learning the other ones that want to learn, and let them know more about the towers, because they're sort of left in a corner where people don't really know much about them. And I think this has sort of given us a big opportunity to get out and really let people know what it's all about. And what they represent is a marking post, like if they got the road signs and all that. Well, if our people was travelling, they'd put that stick into the ground, and if people come looking for them, now the tribes, well, they knew exactly which place to go, because they'd placed that marker in the ground. So that's what the towers are really all about, and marking the names of the place and all that. It was great. A lot of our history is based on German missionary people. Yeah, they were the ones where my grandmother sort of grew up with, the German missionary people. She could sing in German, she can sing Christmas carols in German. She used to sit up and sing to us. My mother was born at that Canalpana mission. Before that time, when before the European people came to here, it was a big trading place. Kalpanina mission was, before the mission started there. But it was a big trading place for the Aboriginal people. A lot of the seeds and towers and that, and all the artefacts that they had there, a lot of that was sent back to Germany, and a lot of it was put in the museum in Adelaide here. everything that we had was documented by the German missionary people. Land was something really great for me because it sort of, I've never was sort of back on this country, but going back on there gave me a lot of inspiration and also a lot of things that, you know, you could talk about that and see the land where our people sort of once lived on, and all the artefacts and things that we found, and you know, to show that, you know, our people was on that land. It was really great. Kanina, this where one of the ones where we were out, where they were saying that in the early days for the war and that they got most of the Aboriginal people for breaking in the horses, and one of them blokes that was there doing that was my old grandfather, and they used to break in the horses and then they'd give them to the army. So it was just a lot of working with horses there in that time of that when the war was sort of started there. It was a very dusty and dry country, but when you stop and think about the land, that land, like you look at today and you think, how could people live on that land? But then when you look back and say, well, these white people wasn't on this land then, so that land flourished. There was plenty of trees and plenty of water, that they didn't have to worry about most of those things because it was there. And how they looked after the land, like when they taken any food or plants and things out of that ground, they'd put that piece back, so that, and then when that ground finished, they'd burn that ground off and then they'd move on. So by the time they come back, it was, you know, ready to restart again. So they were never out of sort of food and that. But our people mainly lived with getting fish and all that, because I was more or less in the Cooper Basin, and all that big ovens that they used to have. Some of it was that high off the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, unreal. It was really an eye-opener, you know. Hear people talk about it, but seeing it for real is a different sort of thing. Really, really let you stop and really think. And there was not only one or two fires, you'd go along further and you'd find, you know, and they were big ones.
Yeah.
And mainly their camp areas where they camped and that. You'd find a lot of the old stone dishes and things like that they used for grinding their seeds to make flour and stuff. Like Canalpana they started from, that's where the mission was. But the Dieri people sort of lived on the Cooper bases, where you find it and goes right back this side of Maree, their boundary is. Yep. Mompiawi, right back down there.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what's Dieri's totem?
Well, mainly a lot of people say it's, we say it's a carpet snake. There's all different, everyone's got your different totem. Like you could have carpet snake, there's the desert rat, that's in our area, and the bat, and the rat, I think it is. Like in those times, if you couldn't marry into your, or that totem was a totem of respect, so if that was your totem, you could not eat that. You respect it.
Well, what about your mother?
Oh, well, my mother was born on that mission, Canalpana. But she didn't really sort of talk much about it, you know, when we were young.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe because of the hard times that they had. You know, travelling around. After the mission closed, well, they just had to go from one place to another, sort of to survive and bring the kids up. That's how my mother ended up in Tibooburra, because when they left Mompy and that, they travelled all the way around that way, up to, what's that place? Out from Windora there. Yeah, Yindama was one of them, yeah. Yeah.
This station
Yeah.
Or do you want to say that pigeon story, Dieri pigeon story, that
The
Dreamtime story?
bronze-winged pigeon is the starting of the bronze-winged pigeon was from Mompiawi Station. How the story was handed down, and it came out of a hole at Mompy, and it was wounded and losing its feather when it landed at the Woodip at Mompiawi. It travelled the Flinders Ranges, where it sort of was still losing its feather and the blood, but he circled around the pinnacles and travelled on to Tibooburra, where he spread the white gold in the quartz in that area. He died at Mount Woods, and his spirit went on to Mount Isa. We did that story as far as the border of New South Wales, and left it up to people, you know, over the border if they wanted to take that story on to Mount Isa. But it's sort of fallen mostly where minerals and stuff really is, when that Dreamtime story is. The same like with our snake, the rainbow serpent. She was the mother of the earth and our creator, and how she moved her big body across the virgin plains, and as she moved, the hills became hills and the water holes became water holes. And then the land sort of flourished after that, and that's how our people survived on the land, because the rainbow serpent was our creator of the earth.
What do you wish to pass on to the next Dieri generation?
Well, hopefully I've got everything in my book and set out in my diaries and things like that, so my kids can hand it down to their kids and the generation after, so it can keep our Dieri culture and that keeps going on. We thought we lost it, but now this is all happening. We've regained it, and we want to keep it alive. So by doing this is the only way that we're going to keep it going, by letting you younger ones know about our culture and what it really meant to us, and every story and that's thing, your language. And that's very important, because a lot of you don't understand our language.
Yeah.
And I think that you should know. Otherwise, if you don't know, you're not going to pass it on, and that everything's going to be lost. And it's very important that we tell our younger ones and explain things to them, so they can tell their younger ones.
What are the issues you reckon and concerns about today's youth?
Today's youth, I said, that's been going on for a long time, and I think that it maybe if we'd have got in earlier and taught our kids our culture and how to show their respect to the elders, that thing might have been different today, might have helped them along the way, but they'd lost their respect and learning for their culture, which hopefully that by doing all this that we're trying to do now, that we could sort of bring them back to how things was, and teach them to show that respect that, you know, that was once really ours. That's I never knew that I could even paint until I sort of started to tape, and then when I got there, things just sort of all come into place with me.
Meant to be, eh?
So everyone's got something in them to, like if they find that, I think there's a way of them finding something for them to do, you know, and take their mind off that and teach them that once they find that, it's teaching them that they can get out there and do things. We're taking back to the land. Show them how the old people lived and what respect meant. There was a lot of respect in our families. You know, you weren't allowed to back chat your mother or anything like that. That respect was a very, very strong thing to us, and it still is today.
Well, when I was little with Mum,
She was born up here.
Oh, that's right. Sorry, I'm thinking about Mary Jean, eh?
Yeah.
And I keep thinking, you was up there anyway, but when you went up there visiting,
nah,
you didn't.
I've only been in Port Augusta.
Yeah.
Oh, I went Quilpie, yeah.
Yeah, well, you go back down. They're deep, and when you can see it there. Well, when they get the grinding stone, see ya, to grind the seed, that's the leaves all that markings, yeah. Yeah. But they all found on the land. There's one big photo there of Patsy, this the one here. See that big one? You see the markings on them there?
Yeah.
And that's what they did, use the grinding stone to grind the seeds to make their flour and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah. That's Silverton. That's where I grew up. Still love going out there, brings back good memories to me. They were the good old days, I call it. Like they say, kids got nothing to do these days. We had nothing to do, but we made it what we had to do. You know, we'd go walking in the hills and making them old tin rollers and making roads and things like that with them, playing with them. You made up your own thing.
Now it's safe to you. You got to lock your kids in the house.
Exactly right. Yeah, very sad.
Neighbours, you know. But a lot of these fellas growing up, they're lost. They don't know their people. They don't know family or culture or anything.
Yeah, well, it's true, and that's what I say. It's very important, and I'm trying to get, you know, the older ones like Cousin Reenie and them to try and get out and do this sort of thing, because if they don't get out and talk, it's not going to get across to our sort of younger people, which is very, very sad. This is my little baby here. That's Shane. That's the ones I did up for the exhibition. But I just did them, the ones I did on the stand, which that big photo over there. No, that big one on the bed over there it is. That's the paintings there, but that's the towels that I made up and put them on a stand. That's where I had my exhibition in Broken Hill.
You get shots of stuff.
It's my grandson there, Sean. The other grandson, Dwayne. Just in there again. Just in there again. Yeah, again. again. That's mainly their 21st. That's my other son. Granddaughter. My little grandson, that's my granddaughter. It's my daughter there, me, and her 2 little ones. And 2 grandsons. It's the one where we went up doing early evidence. It's one of the big water holes that was there. On Mumpy. Just what they say, there's a red hop bush, but this one is the original hop bush that wasn't sort of brought in from, by Europeans. It was original hop bush, and there's 2 different types. That's the original one from the land, and there's another one that grows wild. It's my grandson. My sister showed him how to get ngulli, that's gum, and that's what they're testing out there. That's him here helping his auntie make Johnny cake. There's another one of them there, making Johnny cakes or damper. And that's my son there with a native smoke. It's not marijuana.
Which one?
Bush. That's my photos of me brothers. That's us back on the land. We were going up to Carmody Mission that time and having a look around up that way. That's my cousin there and her husband, which Sarah had already interviewed. Yeah. That's her brother there. That's me and my old sisters.
Who's who?
Hey? Got Auntie Nell there, me, Auntie Sylvie and Auntie Linda. Some of my family that when they come from Quilpie come down to Broken visiting us. Then my old brothers passed on. That's me in my younger days. There's some of them wooden bowls we do. They call them coolamans. But, they use them to carry their water and food. That was a didgeridoo I did. Carved the snake on it. Jan there, they were going around just getting things together for how many dairy people and all that. They made a big book up, that it's like a family tree. And she was saying it's the biggest family tree thing that they've ever done. So it's a lot of work and history put into that book, but at least it's all done for our younger generation to walk proud and tall for. I do.
When in Ireland?
Yeah. Where you born?
Where you was born?
Mambioi,
Who's your mother and father?
Rowdy, Kennedy,
Grandmother's name?
grandmother, old Frida Mary,
And your grandfather?
Grandfather?
grandfather,
Yeah.
Gottlieb Merrick,
Auntie.
Auntie, now who's your auntie?
auntie,
Yeah,
Old auntie, you know.
who's your old auntie? Granny Kitty, Auntie Kitty.
old Frida,
No, Granny Kitty.
aye,
Sweetie.
old, that's old auntie, isn't it?
Yeah, your old auntie, yeah.
Gertie,
What you done when you was young?
When you was on
Used
your
to go
horse.
riding horses?
yeah, riding horses,
And what
Riding
else
the
you used
sheep
to
up?
do?
I was driving the sheeps. I got sheep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they was gonna cut my throat too.
What they taught you as a sheep, eh?
They thought you was sheep.
Yeah, they must be there.
Favourite memories? Huh?
Yeah, anyone.
And what's your partner's name? Your husband?
David Warren.
And
My first name was Kennedy. Lady Kennedy.
yep. And what's your mum and dad's name?
Rowdy, Kennedy, and Susie, mother.
And what's your grandparents' name?
Frida. And grandfather's Merrick.
Yep.
Not Elwood, Gottlieb.
Oh, yep. And how many brothers and sisters you got?
The other grandfathers too. I think the mother's grandfather and the father's grandfather. We've got the same. So that's Granny Susie's mum and dad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, what about your
What another one?
grandfather, my grandfather's mum and dad, ne? The mother too. Kennedy side, ne?
Oh, Walter Kennedy. That's my father's father.
And his mother, ne? Grandfather's mother.
Old Selma. Merrick.
Talk a bit louder.
Yeah, will you help her out then?
What?
Help her out.
That's right.
Help your sister out.
How many brothers and sisters you got?
Well, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Yep.
Joan.
Yep.
Jeffrey. They're the youngest. Uncle Bob Kennedy's oldest brother in the family.
And where you lived?
And I'm the oldest sister. And we used to live Mumpy. Well, we lived at Manny first, Manny, Maine. I was born there. So we moved to Mumpy Alley Station. Father worked there. Still all our life there. And we come down this way then to Mari. Our father was working at the station, Mumpy Alley Station. And the mother's done the cooking job. She's a cook.
She used to cook for everyone.
Yeah, for the bosses and all. She used to cook.
No, he's a butcher there too.
And what else was he?
Yes, a butcher.
A butcher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
father was
Yeah,
doing
kill
butcher.
sheep.
Yeah. And what else he used to kill?
Sheep,
Yep.
hang them up, cut them.
Yeah. Yep.
And what else you used to do? You used to go out looking for feed out in the bush.
Well, we used to get the keep it and take them back and cook them.
Oh, the sheep's out.
Cook them.
You used to get kangaroo too?
Yeah, we used to get
Kangaroo, rabbit.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about fish?
Oh, that is
Remember
fat to
the fish
rabbits.
and them ducks, duck eggs and geese eggs, fish. Remember? Just
Oh, swan eggs.
swan eggs.
Yeah, swan eggs.
Nana Winnie? Who's the oldest again?
Philip. Yeah, Philip.
And the second?
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Third?
Edna.
Fourth?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Fifth?
Oh, Brenda.
And
Andy.
sixth?
Andy.
Yep.
How many kids Philip got?
Yeah, so what Andy's real name is.
What's Andy's real name?
Andy's.
Yeah.
Gregory.
How many children you got, Nana Winnie? Nana Winnie?
11.
11.
11. That's what you in it.
Yeah, me, I'm number 5 kid.
Reg,
Now start from Margaret first, then.
Great.
Margaret,
12, Margaret.
Shirley,
Did you get it?
Yeah.
Reg, Jamesy, Marjorie, Sharon, Leanne,
Daryl.
Daryl, I've got it.
Terence.
Tonica, Leanne, Trevor. That's it.
Yep.
Just not one.
I don't know how many grandkids we got.
How many grandchildren you got, Nana Winnie?
41.
What you call it?
Kangaroo and that, call them lingo.
Kangaroo. Chuckle. Kangaroo.
Rabbit. Koina and whatever.
We don't put coin in the couple.
What's that?
Couple. You don't know.
I don't know that.
Couple. Carney. You don't know couple. That's Goiana.
I forget all that things.
Couple. Carney.
Yeah, I forgot all about all them things.
Huh?
I forgot all about it. I
Yeah.
can't call them.
And the chuchu, there's a snake.
Fish.
Paro. Paro, there's a fish. Punta. Punta. Oh, punta, one of them mice, you know.
Milky.
Milky.
Hara.
Paro.
Tali.
Tally.
Stick your tongue out. Alright, so do it again. When we say it, and then you all stick your tongue out. Say it again.
Tali.
Tally.
Alright, we'll try again. The ears.
Yari. No, that's Talpa. I'm talking differently than that.
Talpa.
So your ears is what?
Talpa.
Talpa.
Mara.
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 Tina.
Tin. Ngalki. Oh, that's Tally.
Milky.
I think it's
Milky is what?
Do you want to say that again? Okay.
Milky.
Point out your eyes and all say it loud. Ready?
Milky.
That's better. Alright, say it loud. Ready?
There's that again.
Say it again.
Milky.
Milky. And then what's ear? Ready, everyone? 1, 2, 3, and you'll hold your ear. Ready? What's hair? Everyone say it. Ready? Hair is? And all touch your hair though. You don't over exaggerate everything like. Say it again. What's another one? Ready? And everyone go Maras. Ready?
Maris.
And what's the foot again?
Tina.
Tinna.
Tin.
Say it loud.
Everyone put your foot up. Okay. Tinna.
Tina.
Louder.
Tina. Mara.
Maras.
Say it
Okay.
loud.
Maris.
What's nose? Mulla. Say it loud.
Mula.
And what was ear again?
Say it loud.
Papa.
1, 2, 3.
Tapa. Marina.
And again, Sarah.
Marina.
Once more for luck.
Say really loud. 1, 2, 3.
Marina.
Sitting near the fireside, I wrote this little song. It's about my childhood memories and the place where I belong. I see the house we lived in, not far from that old store, where you got a friendly welcome when you came to our front door. I see that water coming down along that Black Hill Creek. I've seen her overflowing and run a bank for a week. And swimming in that rock hole, it was my favorite spot, especially in the summer when it was very hot. That old pub down near the corner where I had my first drink, don't remember much about it, but it was good, I think. We'd meet there every payday and we all got along. We'd bring out those old guitars and sing our favorite songs. I see those two old fellas walking up along the track with those wheat bags full of firewood strapped across their backs. And later in the evening, when the night was cold and still, you could see that fire glowing in the shed upon the hill. Take me back to the old place I remember all so well, to hear the old folks singing, hear the stories they would tell, to be with all my family. I sit and reminisce. It's something I remember, it's something that I miss. See that black smoke coming from that Silver City train as he takes another run up to get through the hill again. He's loaded up with minerals, that silver, lead and zinc. Tonight he'll be in Coburn or somewhere there, I think. We got along together, the black folk and the white, and we stuck up for each other if we got into a fight. But that was in the good old days when we all lived as one. We had our disagreements, but we had a lot of fun. Things are so different in that little old town today. They're making those big movies and tourists come to stay. And they've got those big art galleries with pictures on the walls. Yes, things are all so different, they're not the same at all. Take me back to the old place I remember all so well, to hear the old folks singing, hear the stories they would tell, to be with all my family, I sit and reminisce. It's something I remember, it's something that I miss. It's something I remember, it's something that I miss.